Hi there, I'm Megan and I go by Solar Glow Meditations. Tonight we're going to have a distance Reiki healing meditation session where I have selected some tarot cards that are guiding the energy that we're working on tonight. And I'm going to be pulling some crystals to help guide that energy as well. I'm going to link in the comments all the names of the crystals, so don't feel like you need to remember them. You can just sit back and enjoy the meditation as it comes. Before we get started, a few just housekeeping. I have this as ad-free as a members option on my channel if you wanted to do that instead of YouTube Premium. I also need your consent to work on your energy, so out loud, in the comments, in your head, wherever you feel most comfortable, or just by staying, that also constitutes consent. So let's get into it. I don't know that I have ever had the tarot cards scream at me quite so loudly. The message is very clear here, and I'm just going to spit it out that you are bursting with creativity, but you can't work alone. I know I am totally in this bucket of just wanting to sit down and be in my own flow state, but there's something magical that comes from creating with other people. I've just got some tiger's eye to bring about some of this confidence to talk to people. It can be so fun to get in a state of flow with other people and have energies commingle and expand, and I really start to see this as like a session of like a garage band. Just you're there and you're playing and it feels good and you're just rolling with the punches, and it just feeling that energy, that height, that burst. It's going to take you even further than just working in isolation can. And it's, oh my goodness, okay, I just love sitting in this energy. There's like this just creativity that just kind of wants to like vomit itself all over the world, and it takes on so many forms and functions, and it's just like bubbling to the surface. Like I just feel this like welling of just wanting to pour into the world. I apologize in advance. I'm going to draw this analogy to Taylor Swift. She, in her latest album, has gotten a lot of criticism because she is interpolating her music, which basically means she's stealing riffs from other artists without changing them significantly. And she has previously sued artists for doing the same thing to her music, but she went and did so on basically all of the album. And it's such a tragedy because I thought this entire album that was coming out was just going to be full of collaborations with some of the artists that she was sampling from, and instead she just sort of borrowed without asking. And it's sort of that feeling like the just sort of taking without asking almost, but it's not even that sort of energy. It's that had she brought in some of these artists, I think the elevation of the music would have been so much more. And she did for one track, the very last one. She brought in Sabrina Carpenter, and I actually really like the song. It's very outside of a typical style and content, much more edgy, but it helps to form you into something new. You get to experience these different energies and see how they shape and mold you. And it's one of these scenarios where the sum is more than the whole of the parts. And so while you have these fabulous creative ideas, maybe it's even a business idea or your next job or something like that, there's this greatness that comes from bringing in others to go with you on this journey. I have to laugh so much because this is completely a reading for me as well. We're gonna pull out Hypersynth. It's an excited grounding stone. It sounds very counterintuitive and maybe like opposites all bundled up into one stone, and it totally feels that way sometimes. It's also a little bit of this idea of like editing. In the creative process, you guys, when you get these videos, these are just raw as they come out, unedited, but in some cases, in some form factors, things are better when they are revisited and re-edited and changed and molded and shaped and colored over and colored again. And some of that editing process lends itself to the greatness, to the amazing things that can come from that process. I feel some of that excitement coming down into centeredness, kind of down into your heart center. Just take a minute to notice your breath. Do you need a deep breath? If so, just allow yourself to flow through that naturally. Spirit is sending me a very interesting analogy. When you do something like performance arts or like sports or things like that, something like even this video, for example, you really only get one shot at it. And so in order to be very successful, you have this like very excited creative process that goes into it and kind of builds you up until you start, and then you really need to laser focus in on the end game. If you're playing, I don't know why they're using basketball for some reason, but if you're playing basketball, your focus is on the ball and the other players and shooting the ball into the basket. You have to ignore the loud noises and the crowd and the mascots and the cheerleaders and the I don't want to say the coaches because you kind of have to listen to them as well, but part of being able to perform in that sort of way is doing the thing over and over again so that it becomes muscle memory. We're gonna grab this one, if it'll let me grab it. Hawaii opal. I love opals. They're just such a fun and lighthearted stone. To be totally honest, I did not pre-select crystals at all. I just am going with the flow here. But in this sort of if you need to fall asleep, please allow yourself to. There's a lot of tired energy coming in. Creativity can be exhausting in the best way. And if you're an introvert like I am, peopling is also exhausting. But what is sort of interesting and about all of this is for me getting into this like very meditative zen. I'm probably in a gamma wave brain gamma wave brain state right now. If I'm in alpha, which is your everyday just waking state, and I'm talking to you on the camera, it's a very different demeanor from being in this flow state. And it feels different. And being in this kind of state is a lot of where creativity comes from. And I don't know why we're going down the path of brainwaves. Maybe this is a moment of having you match with me so that you can be in this flow state. I think there must be a lot of you here that are not accustomed to being in this state. So sometimes what can happen is when you get into a sort of flow state like this, if your brain is not accustomed to it or your mind is not ready for it, you might do what they call click out or fall asleep. And it's basically where you might be meditating, you might be listening, but you're not actually hearing anything that I'm saying. You're not aware of what is happening around you. And that's okay. Don't beat yourself up for that. Just allow it to come as it may. It takes time to integrate into being in new brainwave states. And so, just like exercising your muscles, you need to lift weights repeatedly in order to grow that muscle, in order to lift heavier weights to do harder things. It's the same thing with creativity and brainwaves, and even like becoming an artist of any sort, it takes practice and muscle memory and doing it over and over again. Allow yourself to be tired from the process if this is new to you. Don't get frustrated that you can't type as fast as your brain can think, because that's totally something that I do. This idea, I just want it to spill out onto the paper because it's there in my brain and I see it all. I just have to slow down enough to be able to describe it. And it's a little bit of a game. I think we're gonna pull out this stone. I'm feeling sort of purpley. I'm not even gonna try and pronounce the name of this one. It just feels right. I will link it in the comments below. It's phosphosiderite. Sort of reminds me of dinosaurs right now. Has this very like ancient feeling to it. It's a very like narrowly focused energy. Like I feel like I could cut this energy with a razor right down the center of you. For me, it's like very pointy energy. So strange. It's like a very like left-right pointy feeling. Let's see if we can round this out a little bit. I'm gonna pull some rhodonite pink garnet to kind of, that's much better. This is a much gentler take on this energy. Okay, so with the split you down the middle, it's like this left and right brain activity, and starting to differentiate when you're in your right brain versus your left brain. You can think of your left brain as your analytical mind, numbers, math. And you can think of your right brain as your creative brain, your music, your art, your flow state. I had no idea this would be a meditative lecture tonight, but this is the strangest energy. Spirit is on a mission tonight. So right now we're focused in on your heart chakra. This is something new for me today, but as I was getting ready to record a dowsing rod session, I have been playing with this idea. Like, I'm very good at getting into my third eye, connecting with spirit that way, but somebody said something to me this week that stuck with me in a new sort of way. So your brain can emit waves around your body, and there used to be this philosophy that your brain was kind of the most powerful electrical organ in your body. But there's been studies done recently, and I have no idea what they are. This is just me repeating what somebody else told me. But that your heart is actually more powerful in terms of emitting that electrical frequency than your brain is. And so I started playing with my meditation. So I get into my third eye, as I usually do ahead of the dowsing rod sessions. And then I brought in a heart opener part of the meditation, and I sent that heart opening energy up to my brain, and it felt powerful in this whole new way. I can even feel it now. Oh, this got really heavy. Okay. As you're getting into your creative space, part of working with other people is going to be opening your heart in that new way. And of course, there's the interplay between you and the other person. But it happens on like such a soul level. I think we need one more stone to kind of round this whole thing out. We're gonna go with a moss agate. I've got this lovely star here. And the whole point of the agates is really to slow down, creative energy moves so quickly. And there's always a part of me that just wants to sit and be in that sort of energy all day. So by slowing down the process, slowing down the energy, you can sit in that a little bit more. I don't know if this will mean anything to anybody, but I just got a turkey in my third eye. A very round, like, head-on view of a turkey. I have no idea. Let me know in the comments if that means something to you, because I always wonder what spirit is thinking. Or maybe they're not thinking, maybe they're just communicating. I'm not sure, but oh my goodness. Just start to take a quick scan of your body. Notice if there's anything that's still needing to relax. Just relax it. you are about to fall asleep, just let it go. Your body needs the rest. If you feel your heart wanting to expand and open, just allow that warm hug to wash over your body. You can bask in that moment, that feeling. Allow it to percolate through wherever needs. And just let it integrate, let it be. The light in me honors the light in you. Namaste.